Hi. Oh, hey, it's better, isn't it? Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, with a cup of tea. Hey, hi, Heather. Okay, so let's have a look at what is not happening in the Samantha Murphy case. Well, I'll say, it will be happening. I'm 100% certain that things are happening, but it's really, I just don't know why the police have gone so quiet. So I think it was Wednesday, the last time that they actually said anything. But so we have to rely, when the police go quiet, we have to rely on things like the Daily Mail, which is anyway annoying, but at least they're covering the case, I suppose. At least they're making comments about it. That's all you can say really about the Daily Mail. Now, so let's have a look at what they've been saying. So they've come, I don't know if I really like this, but they've come up with this story, the Daily Mail Australia. But I say they've come up with this story and I'm being a bit sniffy about it. But, people want information about Samantha because they care about Samantha. So I suppose they are at least responding to that. And they said, missing mum Samantha Murphy's childhood dream of being famous came true in the cruelest way possible. Now her family wants Australia to know the real woman behind the heartbreaking headlines. Now, we would like to know a bit more about Samantha, wouldn't we? Obviously, I think from what we know already about Samantha, a lot of us can relate to her because she's a mum of three sort of older children, like they're not little children. She's married. She works for her and her husband have a business together. She liked going out jogging, walking on this trail. Apparently, she had an interest in amateur dramatics and things. She seems to have been a very strong person, both physically and mentally. So it's been good that there's not been any, nobody's said, oh God, well, she was menopausal or she had drink problems. Her sort of mental state has not been called into question, which is a good thing. So what the Daily Mail have come up with, and I think they've interviewed her family, not her immediate family, but not her husband and her children, but her parent. They've been in touch with her sister, and they've been in touch with her parents, or they tried to get in touch with her parents. So she grew up in the little Victorian country town of Gordon, which of course I don't know, but some of you out there will know it, about 95 kilometres west of Melbourne's CBD. And she grew up with her sister and loving parents, John and Pam Robson. Oops. And so at the peak of its gold rush boom, it is interesting, the gold rush, I've sort of heard about that, but I've not lived that or know much about it. But it's a big part of Ballarat and this area is the influence of the gold rush boom. And then the town had as many as 8 hotels, banks, stores. However, this is where she was born, by the way, Gordon. This is according to the Daily Mail, so I don't know if this is true, but I'm presuming they know it's true. Today, the publican in its only remaining pub pours beers for a die-hard bunch of locals. So Samantha was a child of the 70s and 80s, and she spent her time riding her bike through the lush forest, hanging out with her mates and riding horses, apparently. But like a lot of girls who grow up in the country, she had dreams of moving away and making something of her life. It's funny, isn't it? People who live in the country or in quiet places, they always dream of living in the city. And people who live in the city always dream of living in country places, quiet places. So she would go on to own many horses in her life, apparently, showing them, jumping them through the years. Her uncle, so this is her uncle they've been talking to, Alan Robson. He remembered Samantha as a young go-getter. They do talk about her a lot in the past tense. But anyway, never mind. I think maybe it's just unconscious. Who was driven to make a name for herself. Samantha was always going to be someone famous, he told Daily Mail Australia, but she couldn't have imagined the cruel way her childhood dreams would come true. This is really insensitive of the Daily Mail, isn't it, really? This is what I mean about the mainstream media. They whinge so much about social media, but we get a lot of our information from them, so they should be more responsible. But anyway, wearing black half-length leggings and a maroon-brown coloured singlet, the last image of her alive has been plastered over the internet and across TV screens over the past 2 weeks. The image was captured on February the 4th. That's 2 weeks ago now, at 7 a.m. from her home just off Eureka Street at Ballarat East on what turned out to be a stinking hot day. So she had told her husband, Mick, she was going for a short run and would be back by 9 a.m. but never returned. And weeks later, her disappearance continues to baffle. So Samantha's family this week, according to Daily Mail, told them that they did not want people to forget who she was or what she meant to those who knew and loved her. Do you see what I mean? It's like she's already gone. It's like they've given up. I mean, I know it. As the days go by, it doesn't look very promising. But look, speaking in the past tense is something Samantha's family are reluctantly coming to terms with. It's still a little bit early for that. But anyway, Mr. Robson, who's aged in his 80s, still gets about on his tractor on a farm north of Ballarat, and he recalled Samantha pestering him for her first horse when she was just a little girl. She was horse mad, he said. She always wanted Uncle Alan to buy her a horse, and she was on to her dad all the time, Samantha's Aunt Janice recalled. She always wanted one. It wasn't long before her old man gave in, buying her a pony that she named Harmony. And Samantha's father, John, known among his mates as Pud, had been a hard-working truck driver who travelled the country alone to make sure his daughters had a good start at life. So her mother, Pam, came from Perth, where most of Miss Murphy's family on that side continues to reside. So Samantha's disappearance has gutted her parents. John went back to work. He said there's nothing he could do, Mrs. Robson said. Bearing in mind he's 80, her dad. So she comes from strong stock, she comes from people who, workers who are used to, getting on with things. And I think if put in that position, we'd be that way ourselves. John Robson had spent most of his life behind the wheel of a truck and continues to work today, aged just shy of 80. He's supposed to be slowing down. Oops. Where is it? He's supposed to be slowing down. Oh, it keeps jumping this. Drives me mad when it jumps around. Where is it? He's supposed to be slowing down. He's quieting down to long-distance local routes. The top of, what, is he driving a long distance? Goodness me, at 80 years old. So he's quieting down to long-distance local routes, the top of New South Wales and that sort of stuff, his brother said. On Thursday, Samantha's sister asked the Daily Mail Australia not to speak to her parents and refused to make any comment herself. Samantha's husband has taken a similar stance to the media firestorm his wife's disappearance has caused. Mr. Murphy, yeah, he's refusing. Well, he made that short press release, didn't he, that we watched with his daughter, but since then he's not spoken to the press, and he's probably been advised not to be fair. So Mr. Murphy, with the help of Samantha, operates one of the largest panel beating shops in the region. We had a look in the last video, didn't we, at the website, etc. Employing more than 20 staff, Samantha had been described as the backbone of the operation, running the books and keeping Mick in line, according to the website. So this is where Samantha's parents live, in Gordon, among the gum trees, apparently. So those who knew Samantha claimed she certainly wore the pants in the marriage. She was the boss. Mr. Robson said Mick's different. He's quiet. He stays in the background. And he was the son of a truck driver as well. And she met him apparently as she grew up in Gordon. So his business grew big quick. It's the biggest panel beating shop in Ballarat, you'd imagine. Mr. Murphy had learnt his trade as a young man, toiling away at the very business he now owns. So I presume he worked there first and then he ended up buying it. And at the helm, Mr. Murphy and his wife were able to turn Inland Motor Bodyworks into a massive success, moving to larger premises just outside of Ballarat. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just continued to grow. Now, this was something, again, that I didn't know. The couple have endured their ups and downs, having struggled to conceive their first two children, which came after grueling IVF procedures. So, seems that, that suggests that their last child was conceived naturally. So, sometimes that happens, doesn't it, with couples? They have to go through the IVF and then in the end they conceive naturally. So through hard work, here's Riley now, he's just come down. Through hard work, the couple moved into the sprawling multi-million-dollar property they now own today. And Mr. Robson said that although Samantha had attended private schools growing up, her first job reflected a work ethic that she held to the day she vanished. She ended up shoveling dog excuse the French, but dog shit for a living, Mr. Robson said. It was the first job she ever had, shoveling dog crap at the dog kennels. Well, you can say she was an animal lover because she had her dogs, didn't you? And it's a shame. So let's hope that Samantha comes home soon. But anyway, let me put that window down. Just come back into chat. Make sure you're all okay. I hope I haven't missed anyone coming in to say hello. But hi Tina, hi Neil. I'm sorry, I'll just go down and make sure. I don't think I've missed one. I said hello to Neil. Right. If I've missed saying hello to you, just come back and say hello again and I'll... Chumba, what did you have for dinner? You've just finished your dinner. What did you have? Was it salmon? Was it Chinese? It's always something nice. You and Charlie eat so well. Yeah. I think Michelle's saying that her sister lives in Ballarat and she's not going out. I think until it's found what happened to Samantha, where she is, then I don't blame her because, and also the police are not giving out much sort of reassurance or, anyway, never mind. So Chumba had lamb chops, chips and spaghetti. Oh, sounds absolutely lovely, except I don't eat lamb. But okay, so let's have a look at the next one. But the chips and spaghetti sounds great. Yes, so this was another article again by the Daily Mail. the Daily Mail are, they're trying their very best to, as Chumba says, sell their papers. But I suppose that's what they're there for, That's what they do, We can't really criticise them for doing what. That's their business, to sell papers, isn't it? Or to get people to read their articles, etc. So, you can't really blame them for that. So this other article, they're talking about inside the they always make it sound so dramatic. Inside the frantic hours after missing mum Samantha Murphy vanished and the desperate call her husband Mick made to police, as her family reveal what he's really like. And they make it sound like you're going to get the details of the emergency call, which of course you're not. But anyway. So the family of missing mother of three, Samantha Murphy, have revealed how her husband tried to find her on the morning she went missing. So this again is Miss Murphy's uncle and aunt, Alan and Janice. They've obviously given a comprehensive interview to the Daily Mail. And they told Daily Mail Australia, and they'll probably release it bit by bit, won't they? So they told Daily Mail Australia that their niece's husband, Mick Murphy, made the call to police himself 2 hours after she failed to return home at 9 a.m. So bearing in mind, she'd gone out around 7. She'd said she would be back in an hour, I think is my impression, which would be 8. And she wasn't still home by 9. So I think that's when he rang. I'm not sure of the exact date because time, because again, the police have not confirmed it. 11. So she was reported missing at around 11 a.m. Mick reported her missing. He said that she was supposed to be back to go to some sort of meeting that morning. And that's, a mystery, isn't it? Because as I said, I think in the last video, some people are saying that it was this family brunch. Other people or other, websites and things are saying that she was meeting a man in Ballarat. This is what I mean, all these rumours. These are what the police, in my opinion, should come out and say, yes, she did have a family brunch that morning, or she did have a meeting. You don't have to say she had a meeting with a man, they just have to say she had a meeting, but they're not confirming or denying anything. Maybe it's because it's to do with the investigation. Anyway, she wasn't home, didn't go to the meeting. He rang up and reported it, and after that they started looking out the other side of Buninyong, which is 20 to 30 kilometres away. Now, if she said she was going, see, that's a contradiction in itself, because she said she was going for a 15-kilometre run, a shorter run than normal, because she had to be back. Now, if she's going for a 15-kilometre run, that's 7.5 kilometres one way and 7.5 back the other way. So why did they start looking over the other side of Buninyong, 20 to 30 kilometres away? Anyway, Alan obtained the information directly from his brother, John Robson, who he maintains regular contact with. So here's Mick and Samantha in happier times before she was missing. With children must have been quite young there in the back of the car. So yeah. Here's that infamous picture of Mick coming out the police station smiling, which, the Daily Mail, who are always telling everybody not to speculate, they put this picture in every article that they do. They keep putting the picture of him smiling. That is a casting an aspersion, because why do they keep showing it? So Mick apparently has shut the gate and locked reporters out. He's had a gut full of the reporters, which fair enough. So she was only going to run it's 10 kilometres now. So it's gone from 15 to 10. And she was going to be home by 9 a.m. She said she'd be back then to go to the meeting, something in Ballarat. It remains unclear if any of the Murphys' 3 children, whose ages range between the early teens to early 20s, were at the family home at the time their mum went missing. So Alan says, oh, the young lad would have been home, he's only 12 or 13. So Miss Murphy's father phoned Alan and Janice just as they were about to sit down for dinner the night that she went missing. He said, oh, Janice, Sam's gone, Samantha's gone missing. I said, what do you mean gone missing? She's gone missing, she went out. He didn't say she'd gone jogging, but he said she'd gone missing. She hasn't turned up, never came back. So Miss Murphy's father phoned him. So Alan said his niece routinely ran 20 kilometres on a weekend, but this time she planned to run a shorter distance so that she could attend her appointment. And we don't know what that appointment is. Police have confirmed Miss Murphy was meant to attend. Oh, police have confirmed. Have the police confirmed she was meant to attend a brunch that morning? I don't think I've seen them confirm it, but maybe they did. She was going to be back by 9 a.m. because it was all so stinking hot. So on Thursday, a woman who identified herself as Miss Murphy's sister refused to allow Daily Mail Australia to speak to her parents, who reside in Gordon, about 22 kilometres from their daughter's home. And here we are with the smiling Mick again. They're determined to show us how he was smiling. People don't just vanish into thin air. Someone's got to know something. And of course, that is what he said at the press conference. Anyway, so this apparently is the rugged terrain where the police and community members have searched for Samantha. And this, of course, was, I'm not going to play that again. That was the impassioned plea from her daughter. Is there anything else new? So Janice said that Mr. Murphy, meaning Mick, let me read this out. So Alan said, Mick has shut the gate and locked reporters out. He's had a gutful of the reporters. He said he's never courted public attention, and Daily Mail Australia is not suggesting Mr. Murphy has anything to do with his wife's disappearance. Well, they are, really. Every time they show that picture of him smiling, they are. Janice said Mr. Murphy likely felt the media attention was an intrusion on his family's privacy. And then on the other hand, they've got to stop and think, nothing else is working. The more people talking about it, something might pop up. That's the paradox, isn't it? You don't want media attention. Of course, it'd be awful to, have your picture taken every time you come out your house, trying to catch you with a smile on your face or whatever. But also, if you don't publicise, how are people, if people don't talk about it, publicise it, how are leads going to come? So Mr. Murphy made his one and only public statement to the media on February the 8th in a press conference that was memorable for his daughter, Jessica's emotional words rather than his own. See, they say they're not saying it, but they're like putting in these little digs, and it's true. Jessica was much more emotional than Mick was. But then, she's a young girl and he's a guy. So we don't know anyway. So Mick had said, whether it be any little thing that you might think is relevant, just call the police and let them know. It will give us a bit of peace of mind, some hope. Janice said she'd been bombarded with theories and opinions about Mr. Murphy's behaviour in the weeks since he made that plea for help. And some of the theories Janice mentioned have been rolled out repeatedly in Facebook pages that claim to be helping police find Miss Murphy. So then they're starting to be sniffing now again about their Facebook pages, as if they're not, trying to cast aspersions. So he's saying that he's too easygoing, Mick, nothing would worry him. I remember someone else said that in their interview, how easygoing they were, too easygoing for their own good. So the pair said that Miss Murphy's father told them his daughter hadn't had any arguments with her husband leading up to her disappearance. It's the first thing I thought of when she vanished, that they might have had a blue. I presume that's Australian for argument or something. But John seemed to think not. He reckons there are no money worries or anything. He knows of no trouble at all. So Miss Murphy had maintained regular contact with her parents, regularly catching up with them on weekends when she wasn't working. And Alan and Janice insist someone sinister is responsible for Miss Murphy's disappearance. So Alan suggested, I reckon someone has been watching them since they bought that house because it's worth big money. It's a possibility, but there's been no ransom demands. So, so that if that's true, if it's to do with money, there would have been a ransom demand. Well, there's not been a ransom demand as we know. There may have been. Oh, it's saying there is not, with no demands for cash. And Miss Murphy's bank account's presumably untouched. It's a long shot. And Alan said if she was going to go off somewhere, she would have taken some money, wouldn't she? Alan said. They dismissed suggestions she may have staged her own disappearance. Yeah, I don't think she did that, but she would have needed to take something with her. The cars were still home. She would have got one of them. She just vanishes after leaving the front door. Just gone, just like that. And they reiterated that she would never have turned off her mobile phone, which police believe went dead in thick scrub some 20 kilometres from her home. That phone hasn't been switched off since she had the thing, and then all of a sudden it's switched off. So, yeah, a mobile phone pinged in the nearby suburb just before dark. And Alan claimed that the task of tracing the pings may have been made harder due to several phone towers in the area going offline. And he says that day half the repeaters were out of action. Everything was going through Buninyong. So this is a member of her family said, as time drags on, the family are now coming to grips with the fact that maybe Ms. Murphy may not be found alive. She's not lying around anywhere hurt. You'd be looking for a body. Well, thanks, Alan. That's nice, isn't it? That would be very comforting to her children for you to say that, Uncle Alan. Anyway, never mind. So now I've got a couple of videos to show you, just sort of updates. Oh, he is a bit rude, isn't he? Yeah, not, I don't think it's very nice when your uncle's saying that. I mean, you'd want, in fact, you've got to try and stay positive for the rest of the family, surely, even though it isn't. Hi, Tracy, even though it isn't really looking brilliant, I don't think you need your uncle to say that. Anyway, never mind. I'm sure the Daily Mail made it worth its while. Okay, so, and hello to anybody watching at home. I'll say hello to people that come into the chat. But I know a lot of you, I can see there's a lot more of you watching at home as well. So thank you for watching. And if you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. Okay, so another update. So I've been trying to find what I can. As I say, there's not loads of updates, but let's see. Oh, I've got so many windows open as usual, because I've got the windows open for what we're going to do after. Right, let's have a look at this video. So this is News Australia.
Today marks 2 weeks since Ballarat mother of 3, Samantha Murphy, left her home for a run and vanished without a trace. Just this week, Victoria's top cop described the case as suspicious. Let's bring in founder and investigator for the Missing Persons Network, Valentine Smith, right now in Melbourne. Val, good morning. Thank you for being with us. How crucial is speed at the start of investigations like this one?
Good morning, Alex. It's very crucial, and the reason being is because the moment Samantha, as reportedly, left home to go for that run, everything starts to be contaminated. The evidence or information evidence is immediately starts to be lost. Time is the criticality of time in these investigations is so important.
And Val, I know you're a retired detective. You've done a lot of this stuff before, and in my experience reporting on these sorts of investigations, police will be focusing on certain people without making it overly obvious that they are focusing on these certain people. Is that what would be going on behind the scenes right now?
Well, look, in any missing person.
So difficult, isn't it? Everyone's desperate for news. They're all so this is 9 News Australia. Everybody wants news about it. The Daily Mail, all the news channels, etc. All social media. You know, apart from her family, obviously, and the police. This silence is almost uncanny, I think. To go this long without saying anything. There's definitely, no, I keep saying it day and day. I'll probably still be saying it in another week, or I think there's definitely something going on behind the scenes. But I hope so, and I think so. And of course, so what these people are trying to do is, they're trying to get some insight from people like this who's, with the missing or was with the missing person unit, etc. Just trying to get insights, just trying to get some idea, because they're trying to fill this gap. And this is what I'm saying about the police. You can't stop people talking about it. People are going to try and fill the gap. But if the police don't fill the gap, news outlets, newspapers, etc., social media, they'll do it. Michelle, I hope you feel better soon. I hope you recover soon.
Person, any investigation, certainly this is when we're dealing with missing persons, there's what we need to understand is that the person themselves, we're dealing with it's like a homicide. It's a person's life, and we've got the person themselves, and we've got the family who are suffering an enormous amount of unimaginable grief. And so it's a highly critical investigation. So every part has to be pulled apart and analysed to its nth degree. And that means very sensitive and deep in interviews and in investigations and going very complex sort of involvement with.
I don't know about you, but I don't feel this guy was very prepared or whatever, because he's sort of losing the track of what he's saying. It sounds a bit like me on a line.
Family and friends and associates and neighbours and all sorts of people that are connected to this missing person in this case. And it gets very, very sensitive and involves very delicate sort of interviews with people and gets, very, very, very complex.
Yeah, we know Detective were at home yesterday or a day before that for over an hour. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And it's important for the community to hold on to hope for a positive outcome, I suppose, because at the moment it's not looking positive. It's now been 2 weeks since she went missing.
Yes, but we've got to be sort of we've been looking at these sort of cases for many, many years through another organisation that I'm very, very strongly connected to, which is Footprints in the Wilderness. And we look at cases like this across the world, and there are examples of these that we see where people, for all sorts of reasons, these cases they're found, they are resolved, and because we've got to realise that the facts in this case as they are presented to us are that as are presented to us by the police through media releases, etc., that this Samantha reportedly left home, and she was kitted up to go for a run. She was very experienced. She had the mobile phone and a smartphone, a smartwatch, and that's it. There appears to be no other evidence or presented to us that.
Yeah, he doesn't look very comfortable speaking. I mean, obviously, he's involved in this and he knows a lot about what he's talking about. Maybe he's a little bit nervous, being on the news like that. I don't know. But anyway, he has got some interesting things to say. It's just sometimes it takes him a while to get it out. But there you go. I'm a bit like that as well.
Suggests anything more than that.
Yeah, just disappear without a trace, it seems, Val. We've got to go. We've run out of time, Val, but thank you so much for being with us this morning and well done on all the work you do with the Missing Persons Network. Thank you, Val.
Thank you, Ali.
There you go. So that was a little news thing that I found. But, it's quite hard to find anything different. It's quite hard to find anything different to talk about. Anyway, I've got another one here for you, another interview that we won't have seen before. And this is with a guy who is a psychologist, I think. Hang on, let me...
Her home to her distraught family. Back, Cassie Zervos reporting live. Thank you.
Oh, right, go back to the beginning. All right, let's see. Okay.
Weeks to the day since Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy went missing, police are still no closer to finding out what happened. Crime reporter Cassie Zervos is at police headquarters for us tonight. Hello, Cassie. You've spoken to Samantha's husband. Well, Beck, it's a case that's captured the nation. 2 weeks ago, Samantha Murphy left her Ballarat home to go for a run, but never came back. Today, her husband was too upset to speak on camera, but told 7 News his family are doing the best they can under the circumstances. When asked if there was a message he'd like to get out to the community, Mr Murphy said, "Just that we want Sam home, please." Detectives from the Missing Persons Squad are leading this case. They work alongside the Homicide Squad and probe suspicious disappearances, but are working with very few clues, making this investigation a complicated and meticulous one.
Now, notice she did say that Mick, he didn't want to speak on camera, but he did speak to her. Let's just go back to what did she actually say he said? I've forgotten now.
Is at police headquarters for us tonight. Hello, Cassie. You've spoken to Samantha's husband. Well, Beck, it's a case that's captured the nation.
Yeah, so she said you've spoken to Samantha's husband.
2 weeks ago, Samantha Murphy left her Ballarat home to go for a run, but never came back. Today, her husband was too upset to speak on camera, but told 7 News his family are doing the best they can under the circumstances. When asked if there was a message he'd like to get out to the community, Mr Murphy said, "Just that we want Sam home, please." Detectives from the Missing Persons Squad are leading this case. They work alongside the Homicide Squad and probe suspicious disappearances, but are working with very few clues, making this investigation a complicated and meticulous one.
They would be looking at a different line of endeavour now, looking at telecommunications.
Yeah, so this guy's a forensic psychologist. Just missed his name there, hang on. Tim Watson Monroe is a forensic psychologist, so he's weighing in with what he thinks.
Looking at telecommunication, GPS positioning, social media, speaking with significant others in the community and the family.
Police are also calling on the public for help. Anyone with information, no matter how small that is urged to come forward. It could be the missing piece in finding Samantha and bringing her home to her distraught family. Beck, Cassie Zervos reporting live. Thank you.
Yeah, so little, all you can find are these little nuggets. Like, there's nothing, as I say, because there's nothing actually from the police. It's. Oh, I thought I had something else to show you. Yeah, now I want to show you this. This is off the Facebook page. because, you know, the first Facebook page, you know, one Facebook page has been removed, but there still are other Facebook pages. So this helped find Samantha Murphy. This was interesting because the public are intending to go searching again on the 24th of February. And this ground crew, whoever they are, let's see what they say. So we appreciate there are many different opinions on what should and shouldn't be happening, but we remain steadfast in believing that searching for anything that can assist the authorities is worth pursuing. And I agree. I think, you know, I would certainly be out there searching if that was my partner who'd gone missing in the bush. Whatever, whether the police had scaled down the search or not, I would still be searching. But anyway, furthermore, after researching other similar incidents, our group plans on keeping the forward momentum and enthusiasm going in our efforts to find answers. In other words, we don't want the search for Samantha to just fade away like so many others have. Surely it's not going to fade away. You can't. Because, you know, the thing is, it can't. This story has gained traction not only in Australia but all over the world for whatever reason. You know, it tends, you know, sometimes these stories, they do, you know, depending on ethnic background and, you know, the background of the person who's missing, etc. Some stories gain traction and others don't, but this one has. Whatever the reasons, and whether they're right or not, that probably lots of people don't get the same attention, this one has. So it's not going to just go away for that reason, surely, because there's more attention on. But anyway, volunteers are invited to participate in the search next Saturday. So any of you who are out there in the area, if you want to, Saturday, February the 24th, starting at 10 a.m. at Eureka Stockade Memorial Park. This group is specifically seeking individuals who are willing to offer their time and energy to assist in combing through designated areas. So this seems to be some sort of organisation called Ground Crew. Tori Baxter, a volunteer there, said we still need more volunteers to join us in this crucial search for Samantha. With safety first in mind, we plan on getting small groups to stick together and ensure they are adequately equipped to look after themselves and each other. So Ground Crew is also seeking support from local businesses that are able to donate fluorescent vests, whistles and other items whistle's a good idea, actually, isn't it? And you know, when we've talked about safety, when you're out running or walking or whatever, a whistle is a good idea for, you know, to sort of attract attention, because sometimes if you saw somebody approaching you and you get your whistle out, it could just make them run off, you know, because they don't want attention, do they? So a whistle's a good idea. So, and other items that may assist their search efforts this coming Saturday. So that's next Saturday. Safety, gosh, surely it won't be another week and there'll still be no news. Safety is of the utmost importance, and all volunteers need to be equipped with the relevant safety gear necessary. So anybody who's interested in volunteering is encouraged to meet up on Saturday or can contact Ground Crew Samantha Murphy on Facebook. Yeah, so Ground Crew is a volunteer-based community search group dedicated to assisting in locating Samantha Murphy in the Ballarat area. And this is the event. Let's have a look. So that's starting off at 10 a.m. 25 people have responded. So, well, that's good. It's good that people are, people want to help, don't they? You know, they really, really do want to help, I think. But it's good for them to search in small groups you know, 2, 3 people, needs to be probably 3 people, doesn't it? Because if anything happened, then you need, say one of you tripped over, or need one of you to stay with that person while the other one went for help or whatever. So maybe even 5 people would be, anyway, I'm sure they know, I'm sure they've done searches before. Okay, let me see, that might be all I've got to tell you now about Samantha. And I'm going to talk to you, let me just put some windows down. I'm going to talk to you again about Rachel Marin. So I did find some information about Rachel. Which is good. Just put my windows down. God, I end up with, I don't know where these windows come from. I'm sure I don't put them up there. Okay, so that's all we know so far, or that's all the latest that I could find anyway, about Samantha. Maybe tomorrow is always another day. Maybe there'll be a cuddle after watching that. I need a cuddle after watching that. It was very sad. It was very sad. Okay, so we need something a bit lighter now, don't we? After watching that, which was quite sort of traumatic, we need something a bit lighter. So something that I just want to finish on, that I saw today on X or Twitter. I can't get used to calling it X. Now, do you remember, some of you, come on, oh, Riley, go on, give me a cuddle. Oh, yeah, give me a cuddle. The dogs always make you feel better, don't they? They give you a cuddle and then you feel better. So what I want to look at now, just something a bit lighter, just to make you laugh. Do you remember, those of you who are of a certain age, you'll remember Sasquatch, you know, and all the talk about the Yeti or the Sasquatch. Do you remember? So anyway, there's been a video come out of the Sasquatch from years ago that was supposedly seen, and it's been stabilized. So it just makes me laugh because this is the original Bigfoot. Remember this video? And people believe it's not a man. No, it's not a man dressed up in a suit. Obviously not. But people really believe that maybe this was like a Yeti or the missing. Oh dear me! When you look at it now, it's just like what? Or do you believe it? Do you believe it's Sasquatch? But I remember. I mean, I don't remember how old I was. I was only young, I think. It was hilarious, really, now looking at it. But everybody did think it then, didn't it? Don't forget, we're going back, you know, a lot of years, and people believed it. People really did believe it. It looks like a man walking in the street, but the face just looks like a man. So, I know, do you remember it? It just looks silly now. And then when you go down and look at, I found some other videos then, of course, like you do.
A large dark figure can be seen running between.
So on this video, as the you know, this is what you do, I suppose, in America. You take your kids out hunting, shooting, or Kentucky Bigfoot. So apparently, if you watch this video, at some point you see a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, as they call them, running along here and go down on all fours, they say. But anyway, you tell me what you think.
In the trees in the background before dropping to all fours. The video was posted to YouTube in 2011, and according to Mega Frightful, the family didn't initially notice the figure and had thought the helicopter was watching them, but instead, perhaps it was actually hunting the assumed Bigfoot. So what are your thoughts on this video? As always, we love to hear from you. Drop us a comment below, and if you enjoy our Bigfoot content, be sure to share and follow and find us on YouTube.
There really is a Kentucky Bigfoot organisation. So what do? They just go out looking for Bigfoot.
And Facebook for more.
Okay. Targets. Okay. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Close. Try.
Got it!
You gonna try the shotgun? Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock? You okay? Let's see, did you get anything? Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock? Okay.
It's a Sasquatch.
Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock?
Did you hear the helicopter? I think there must have been a manhunt going on. I reckon that helicopter was looking for this guy. He's probably that Daniel Cavalcanti that when we were following him when he was on the run. Now, I think it's important to remember that years ago, when that other Sasquatch thing came out, it was a big thing that people were talking about. You know, it's like sort of died down now. Nobody talks about it, but it was all over the news. It was everybody. You know, it was a massive thing.
Okay.
Let's watch one more.
Targets. Okay. Oh, nice. Close. Try.
Got it!
You gonna try the shotgun?
Yeah, do you reckon that helicopter, it's a manhunt, and then this man who it's just some guy runs across, but they're saying it's a Bigfoot.
Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick.
No wonder he ran, because he had the bloody gun going off, that's why.
You okay, Brock? You okay? Let's see, did you get anything? Ooh. Whoa. Whoa, that was a big kick. You okay, Brock? You okay? Whoa.
Anyway, I just thought it was quite
funny. You okay, Brock?
Hi, Rachel. Dear me. Okay, now then, let's see if there's, just have a look, see if there's any more Bigfoot. Oh, that's that. Let's have a look. Oh, there was another one. Oh, this guy.
near where I live called Bear.
Now he's looking for something else. He was out doing some. Let's have a look. What was he out doing? He was using his drones looking for bears during bear season, and he records a Bigfoot, according to this. So let's see.
What the world?
Look.
What is that? Oh, that's incredible. What? No way. Are you serious? What? What is that?
That's got to be a guy in a suit again, surely.
Oh, man.
God.
What the world?
Oh God, it's. Are we going to see it again? You know, 'cause there's a part of me that really wants to believe in these kind of things. I think it's a throwback to when I was a kid and everybody was talking about it. And it was just so exciting to think there might be a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. And of course, in today's day and age, sort of, we don't know, don't see it again. So yeah, this part of me wants to believe it, wants to think there's, hi Matthew, wants to think there's a Bigfoot somewhere. Hi Caroline. Oh. So I can see there's still quite a lot of you on there, but I've sort of what I was so I've told you about the Nicola Bulley docu-series I'm going to be doing. We've talked about the lack of information in the Samantha Murphy case. And I do feel with Rachel Marin, after we've watched about the Rachel Marin case, feels like maybe surely somebody's going to recognise that twonk and give him up, finally give him up. But okay, so that's it. That's all for tonight. Thank you. So many of you were here. Thank you so much. So we'll be praying for Samantha's safe return. Still praying for it. It's every day that passes, it seems more unlikely, but it's not beyond the realms of possibility. And then the other missing girl, the other missing woman in Madrid, of course, that I did an update on today. She's another one, another missing person that doesn't look too promising, but you just never know. So, but anyway, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. you know, and I hope you found it interesting and a little bit about Sasquatch at the end. Yeah. Do with it. I sort of part of me wants to believe in Sasquatch. It's like wanting to believe in Father Christmas and the Tooth Fairy and all that sort of thing. But thank you. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you very soon, as always, in the next video. But remember to live and love wisely, carefully. Also, when you go out in the woods, not only you've got to worry about psychopaths attacking you, there might be a Sasquatch in there as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You're all so sweet. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. Thank you. Night, night.